What a golden chance that is. Happy golden chance.
Give them hope and take it away.
Sema nani aina bunduki. Tunampata kula mada danja. Danja aina bunduki mama wangu.
Ya masajja.
Please accept my apologies for the loss of video momentarily, both on Facebook and YouTube. I do believe that yes, we have regained both the Facebook and YouTube stream. You missed about 3 frames. All the 3 frames were won by the Ugandan team, Danger, that are now leading by 7 frames to 5 in a race to 13. Coming on next is going to be Bongo for Shooters taking on Hazard for Danger. There is another frame as well happening between Duncan for Shooters and Sula for Danger. Once again, 7 frames to 5. Danger, who went 4 frames to 1 down at one stage. Since then they have won 6 and have lost 1. They lead by 7 frames to 5. Once again, it's Hazard versus Mbongo and Sula versus Duncan. I'll be giving you what is happening on the second table. Been struggling with the network. Now it is better, and yes, Mbongo has won 2 frames so far in the match, and both of them by break and finish. So far the best player on 2 teams, just that for some of the frames his teammates have not done all that. Those are some of the antics of Hazard, migrating them from the singles to the team event, asking Mbongo to rack again Perhaps Mbongo already knows one thing or two about Hazard. He's just laughing him off and then rocking the balls again. That one will be from the funny side. Now Duncan could be on the verge of winning a frame. I'm trying as much as possible to give you 360-degree coverage. Frame number 13 has been won by Duncan. It's now 6 frames to 7. Danger still leading.
Come on, Jojo.
Once again, on 2 tables, it is Eric versus Tizo. Eric for danger and Tizo for shooters. Well, it's as well Mbongo, the guy that has broken and finished 2 frames so far for shooters, taking on Hazard of danger. The race is 13. We don't have to play 25 frames to completion unless it gets to 12-12 at one stage of the match. Otherwise, the team first to 13 will be automatic winners. The news I have to give you is that this guy Mbongo has broken and finished 3 frames in the match so far. It could be, sorry, it has been 2 frames so far. He has won by break and finish. It could be a 3rd in a row. Maybe there is no better way to be man of the match. It doesn't happen all the time. In my own home country in Uganda, in the history of the league, it has only happened twice for one player to break and finish 3 frames in one match. This time round, I am witnessing it in a different country, a different player, Tanzania's Mbongo, winning frame number 14, which for himself is a 3rd by break and finish. Green apple and green apple, and again green apple. Mbongo defeats Hazard by break and finish. Shooters 7, danger 7, race to 13. Timeout, but it will be only after this frame is done, and I'm meaning to this frame. I'm referring to this frame. It's being played between Tizo and Eric. Tizo for shooters and Eric for danger. The playing uniform of both teams is a little similar. It's just that Mbongo have a little bit more black than Danger. The rest of the colors are pretty much the same. It is frame number 15 out of 25. After this frame, one of the teams will be leading by 1. That will be 8 frames to 7 before they will be having their time out, which will take maybe 3 minutes or so. 7-7 between the Tanzanian team Shooters and the Ugandan team Danger, racing to 13 for a place in the semi-finals of the team event here at the Q Masters International Pool Festival in Arusha in Tanzania. Eric on the yellows. There he goes. His group of balls, Eric, is definitely better positioned. Tizo will have his work cut out. He will need safeties. He has to perfect his game. Shot he has just played is not perfect whatsoever because Eric has a sight of 1 or 2 of the yellows, especially corner pocket left of the screen. The Tanzanian team Q Masters, not the international team, but the one for Tanzanian nationals only, is taking on the Mchana Knights. And then the Snipers, also from Dar es Salaam, are taking on another Tanzania team. I think it is called what? There's another match involving the Mchana Morans. They are taking on seems they are taking on fellow countrymen, the Mchana. It's the Mchana Gladiators and the Mchana Morans. Sorry, the Knights are taking on. The Knights are taking on Q Masters Tanzania. Eric has to pot here. If he doesn't, there is a seeming likelihood he could be losing the frame, especially given the corner pocket at the left where he has a yellow, which has space where red can pass it. So why he's deciding that maybe safer it is to play the red, occupy the pocket in totality. There goes the scratch for Tizo. It is brain work between the two players that has been won by Eric, playing a safety that has tempted Tizo into an offensive frame in which he had a risk always of putting the cue ball, which has come to pass. Maybe we could go into the timeout for the match after 15 frames with the Ugandans in the lead, and the lead could be as slight can be. Eric seemingly playing one yellow, maybe into another. His intention playing that shot was to manipulate cue ball well enough to play the yellow to the center pocket top. In the same shot, he must make sure that he doesn't get snookered because yes, cue ball, if played naturally, would be snookered. He would be snookered right behind the black, so he's deciding to play connection first. His purpose to find cue ball for the yellow near the black. He has sight of the yellow. I'm not so certain he can pot it. Now he has one more chance of making a ball, potting a ball, as well as manipulating cue ball for the would-be bad of the two yellows. The one that is close to the black is deciding to play it now, playing with the top spin because cue ball naturally moves a little bit leftwards, with the purpose not to get himself snookered, which he has achieved with precision and perfection. Now wanting to put yellow to the corner pocket left and the black to the center pocket top. This is the guy that has experience on his side, especially in the league events. A former most valuable player of the Ugandan Pro League in the year that was 2017 for his team runs, and now delivers the stuff on the international stage. Timeout. Shooters 7, danger 8, rest 13. Sawa. Agenda wala ba awitani what court we mande kumachana yapo wewe mwana bamwitani kibangi we Sadamu Adam ayo yapako wadudu Unisaidia sasa, sawa. Anyoga mbade nkwata bulungi. Bili ku meza kwenye kubatubera.
Ando nakula ebyobwere.
Waliwo mugana bikuba.
Asa, Afrika. Sula.
Wewe waliwo mugana kwa ebyobwere. Nkuvume. We are back, dear viewers. Right on time in for the first time in the match. Mbongo doesn't win a frame, doesn't win a toss. That is why the lag was very critical. They actually had to lag twice just to make sure that the rightful player was to break the frame. This guy that is playing right now, Mbongo, has played 3 frames and has won all of them by break and finish. It is only the first time that I'm witnessing that by my eyes. I've seen it, I know of it having happened twice in the Ugandan Pro League, and that is in its history of 20 years for one player to win 3 frames with break and finish. Another frame is happening between Tizo and Habib. 8-7. The Ugandans Danger leading. Sula representing them in this frame, and Mbongo for shooters, while it is Tizo on the second table for shooters and Habib for Danger. The first team to 13 qualifies for the semi-finals. The losing team exits the team event. Today it's going to be all guns blazing. There's still more action coming your way in the ladies singles. We are having 2 finals. In the first life it will be the Kenyan lady, that is Penina Rose, taking on Uganda's Amina Nganda. Then in the second live final, it will be an all Ugandan affair between Rukia and Julie. Thereafter, the men's singles that are as well in the final. The second live final, if I'm not mistaken, is between this guy, Mbongo. He's going to be taking on Saif Hamad. Then the first live final shall be between Moses Mofia and Chandiga Caesar. Those 2 matches shall be determining which players will be making it into the grand final to be played later tonight. But it will happen before the men's team event final that has 8 teams competing to get slots in the semi-finals, which will be happening after these ongoing matches. Shooters 7, Danger 8, rest to 13. Looked as though Mbongo was made a little bit uncomfortable by Sula, observing whether his t-shirt was kissing the balls or not. He has played and potted but has denied himself cue ball for any of 4 reds left on the table. Apology, it is Habib taking on Duncan on the second table, not Tizo. Mbongo with some kind of safety. Not safe enough though. You do fancy that the yellow that is bottomwards of all of them 5 Sula is playing. He will be playing it by rail drive, put it to the corner pocket, bottom left. Highly likely to have it potted because of the existence of another of his yellows right at that same pocket, which makes the pocket even bigger. That is the the support of the yellow. The supporting ball has been played onto the rail, making it a little complicated for Sula. He may have to play safe. But we shall first see Duncan, who is perhaps on the verge of gaining the equalizing frame for shooters as he aims for black against Habib. There we go, shooters 8 and danger 8. Mbongo going for a sharp cut of the red, goes for the bank instead. Perhaps should have aimed to play it off Sula's yellow to give him a better chance. It is hot, not just in terms of the tension, but it is physically hot. It is damn hot in Arusha. Perhaps the residents say this is the hottest time of the year. As Sula misses, but perhaps his pattern sees him through because he intended to play the cue ball into the yellows that were touching each other, one ball playing into the other, one of them getting sunk. In the process, one of them frozen against the rail bottom of the screen. 8-8, rest to 5 now, with each team needing to win 5 out of the remaining 9 frames. Sula playing yellows versus Mbongo, so far the most valuable player in this match, while another frame is now happening between Tizo for shooters and Hazard for danger. It's now getting tricky here. Whichever of the yellows Sula may opt to play first makes it tricky for him finishing the frame. He may have to play the one in space first, because the one that is frozen against the rail, you are almost certain you will not have white for the last yellow if, as a player, you play it on target. Eight, Mbongo versus Sula, Tizo versus Hazard. There goes the risk, Sula taking it, a risk that has partially paid off for Mbongo. A recovery shot could be a combination. If he can combine red into yellow, then put both to the same corner pocket bottom right, he would be on the verge of winning the frame. If he fouls, perhaps he would be on the verge of losing. Instead, he has a very good stroke, and it sees him through. The combination is being celebrated as though Mbongo has spotted black itself. The Tanzanians are chanting "Kula wote, eat them all," as in pot them all balls. 8-8, each team does need 5 more frames to make it into the team event semi-finals here at Q Masters in Arusha in Tanzania. Now one big ball, Mbongo trying to play it by rail drive. The red is looking at Portable to the corner pocket, top left. If he does play it to Pot, if the cue ball follows a little of getting snookered behind the yellow, he will be pretty much done and dusted. He's asking for silence from his own fans for him to take one big shot, which if he does get in and avoids the snooker, you would think that the rest will be a formality. There he goes. There he goes. The Tanzanians are regaining the lead. We went into time out with them trailing by 8 frames to 7. Now they lead by 9 frames to 7. With the Mongo being so far the best player on both teams, it is shooters 9 and danger 8. But again, the frame they have just won could very shortly be erased. Because that is Hazard needing one big pot, one big backspin, but there has been one big snooker. He does not have sight of the black. He seems to be out of sorts. Maybe the game is starting to run away from the Ugandans. Hazard opting to find the black off the cushion. Hopefully for him, find it as well, put it. All of them 6 yellows for his opponent, Tizo, and in pretty good space. In fact, when he got himself snookered, Tizo celebrated, perhaps knowing that one chance given to play would most likely give him an opportunity to win the frame and extend the lead for his team. Hazard is going for a massive shot. Oops, no. He wants to simply find the black, maybe off to cushions, maybe snooker. Tizo himself. The idea. Oops, he's going for a mass shot. He wants to pot. Find the black by carving the cue ball round the yellow into the black. For him, hopefully to pot it. There goes the shot. Finds the black. Doesn't pot. The shot by Tizo has been played very, very poorly. Because Hazard has sight of the black, I think sight enough to pot it. He has taken a very deep breath. This will be the Ugandans. Not really. It will go down as perhaps the turning point of the match. Hazard misses big. Tizo survives. Shooters most likely to extend their lead.
Relax hapo Tizo. Mimi goli. It's the game. Sure hapo. Mimi goli. Hey, it's the game.
The frame has finally been won by Tizo, taking selfies with the Tanzanian fans after snatching the victory away from Hazard. It's now 10-8. The shooters are in the lead. You're watching 360-degree coverage of the match between the Ugandan team Danger and the Tanzanian team Shooters at the quarterfinals of the Q Masters International Carnival Team Edition men's event. 10-8, the Tanzanians up against the Ugandans. It's now Eric taking on Shamak. Eric, the Danger player, Shamak, the Shooters player. While there is even another more dangerous frame happening on the second table between the Shooters player Abid Dao and the Danger player Caesar Chandiga. Remember, they took on each other in the singles, and the match was won by Dao.
Washa moto. Unafeli wapi? Wanaongea kinyumbani.
There is a foul here. There is a chance for Eric to pull one back. Many consider him the less fancied of all the Ugandan players. He has been perhaps one of the most effective in the match today. Also, in continuity is the frame between Dao and Caesar. If the Tanzanians win both, they will need to win 1 out of 5 on 2 tables. There are about 50 people now standing around the table, all of them having their focus on this match. Mostly the Tanzanian pool fraternity, they want the Ugandans out. They want the semi-finals to be pretty much some kind of all Tanzanian affair. There is a snooker by Eric. Another foul. I may have to visit you to another table. The frame that is happening between Dow and Caesar, which looks to be in its latter stages. It's the Ugandan Caesar on the reds. Pretty much a guaranteed frame being pulled back by the Ugandans, who, with their best player now, come within one frame of the shooters. If Eric wins this frame, then we shall be at equal footing again in the match. Some mind games at play here. Chamak teams to communicate to Eric that one of the reds is frozen against the cushion. Of course, it is meaningless because Eric will have no business playing one of those reds for now. He may want to put 3 of the reds on table. You don't have to be so defensive. Seems to be overdoing it. He left 10 frames to 9. Another frame is now starting between Tizo and Sula. That's the attempt of combination shot. It is seemingly a foul. Shamak seems to be happy with what he has achieved. He seems to be fisting the air. He's convinced that he has played an effective shot. I am not so sure he has though. But it could be 2 frames being finished before 1 frame is done. I may have to visit you to our table B, where Tizo seems to be on the verge of finishing the frame against Sula. 10 frames to 9. Shooters still in the lead in this tight match in the quarterfinals. Maybe the tightest of them all that are happening on 4 tables. Sula will be losing a second frame in the match by break and finish, this time to the hands of Tizo, who by simply rolling, maybe tapping slightly into the yellow, cue ball moves close to the black. Slight tap as though he's spinning backwards. The cut between white and yellow is natural for black portable to the corresponding corner pocket that is at the left of the screen. But before that could happen, there is this. There is this. There he goes. The Ugandans 2 frames 1 each by the Tanzanian. 2 frames 1 each by the Tanzanians and the Ugandans. It is now 10. The Tanzanians are in the lead. It is 4 frames to go. Shooters need to win 2 and Danger need to win 3. The math is that easy. You are now going to this frame is now between Shamak and Hazard. There is another frame happening between Dow and Eric. The magic for the Tanzanians has been the green apple. They have won 4 frames by break and finish. The Ugandans so far none of the 4 frames broken by green apple. Mbongo has 3 apples by himself, and then Tizo 1. For the Ugandans, 10 frames, none of them won by green apple, as Hazard breaks frame number 22. Big hit of the balls it is. No ball potted. Finally 2 yellows are potted and leaving an open table. And after potting 2 yellows, you get a feeling he will want to go for the yellows. They make his work lighter because they are 5 in number, the red 7, and yet 2 of them are so close to the cushions. He's seemingly going for the red instead, playing a red, potting it to the corner pocket bottom right, playing the cue ball into another red, splitting it open just like that. Looks to be set, looks to be on course to win what will be, I think, his 3rd of the match out of 5. This one is the last frame he's playing. After him, I think the last 2 frames, if we get to that, shall be that'll be Habib and Caesar, but those will be inconsequential if the 2 Ugandans on table right now, that is Eric and Hazard, lose both. The Tanzanians will have won the match. They need to win 2. The Ugandans need to win 3 out of 4. Hazard has one relatively bad red, the bad ball, the red that is close to the cushion. Bottom of them all on the screen. He may probably want to play it now. What he needs is to play it on target. Seems to want to have the cue ball bounce off the cushion and then move topwards to get him cue ball for even another red to the same corner pocket. That is perfect. Looks to be in pole position to win the frame and win it by break and finish. There he goes, cue ball off the cushion, just around the 2 reds that are close to each other near the 2 center pockets of the table, wanting to put one of them to the corner pocket bottom left. The cue ball he plays will be in question. The pot is on. The cue ball in as big a question as anticipated. That will not go down as a good shot. The cue ball should have been played a little more upwards. His intention was to put the red close to white to the corner pocket bottom right. Putting it anywhere on the table will be tricky. Manipulating the cue ball for the other red, even more tricky. But he has nowhere to hide. He has to play the shot. A sharp cut on the red to the corner pocket bottom right. He will have little control of the cue ball. He plays instead safety. Now inspired to play, to kill, to shoot, inspired to win is Chamak. After being granted that big opportunity to play, it looked as though just about 2 minutes ago that Hazard was winning the frame by apple. And if Hazard loses the frame, and as well Eric loses the other against Dao, that will be the end of the involvement of all Ugandans in the competition, apart from one Caesar who is involved in the singles in the first life final. The frame between Eric and Dao will be as slow can be, not because of Dao, but because of Eric. Shamak has played himself a little out of the cue ball. He has sight of one of the yellows in a straight shot portable, maybe only with a sharp cut to the corner pocket at the top right end of the table, either direct or off Hazard's yellow. Hazard has those two balls, the yellows, in mind when he was playing that safety, knowing that if with any kind of ease Shamak puts the other four, these two will make it complicated for him to finish with one visit of the table. But before that one is done, there is this. Looking like a bit down, winning frame number 22, ensuring that his team will need to win just one out of the remaining three to confirm the victory. Cue ball has been played to perfection by the more senior player only in terms of the offensive side of the game. It is obeyed, but then it is Hazard. 11-11, 12-11, just like that, in almost one split second. Teams winning a frame apiece. Shooters 12, Danger 11. 2 frames to go. The Ugandans must win them both, or else they exit the competition. Now the frames are going to be played between Duncan for Shooters and Caesar for Danger. There's also a frame between Mbongo for Shooters and Habib for Danger. Whatever happens, it will be very big celebrations for whoever of the teams will be winning the match. There's a debate as to who won the toss. The agreement is that the toss has been won by Duncan on table 1. The toss has been won by Mbongo on table 2. The Tanzanians are breaking both frames on the table. If one frame ends quicker than the other, if the frame is won by Shooters, the other frame becomes inconsequential. The match ends there, and then the Shooters will have won. If one frame ends earlier and it is won by the Ugandans, the remaining frame now becomes a decider. I'll be trying to update you on the other frame that is happening between Habib and Mbongo. Mbongo has been the best player on both teams, and by some distance, winning 4 frames out of 4, and three of them by Apple. Duncan to break as Caesar hopes and waits and prays. And the break seems dry. Looks to be some kind of damage to Caesar. but it could be inconsequential if the frame on the second table is won by Mbongo. (12-11). The Tanzanian shooters need to win one. The Ugandan danger team need to win both. It is that simple to say. Far more complicated to do. It is that tense, it is that deafening, it is that silent now. There are two players on two tables. The two ongoing frames by green and red Apple respectively. On the second table, Mbongo is trying to win what will be his fourth frame of the match by Apple, which will be the winning frame of the match anyway. And seems to be on the verge. Idea is that if Mbongo puts the remaining yellow ball on the table, if he manipulates cue ball well for the black, in the process, the frame between Caesar and Duncan will be inconsequential. The weight, the tension, the expectation, the shot, and the miss, and the chance for Habib. Now on the other table, Caesar had held his nerve. He refused to play until the shot Mbongo has just played had been played. He knew the consequence of the match. Now he, Caesar, may instead win the frame on his own table, and if he ever did, then the other frame would become a decider. And where are you watching the tension from? How are you feeling wherever you're watching from, either Kampala or Dar es Salaam, where these teams are best? Caesar has only slight sight of the black. His intention was to play it right against the rail by cushion drive to the corner pocket bottom right. His sight of the black isn't sufficient for a shot of that consequence. Should he find a way of whatever is on his mind is on the second frame. He's carving the cue ball a little round the red to find the black, hopefully simply to tap it and not to foul. That's just my opinion. It is a foul. And the Tanzanian fans are singing and chanting his name.
Now what's up, Guzi?
And that will go down as a very good free shot by Duncan, because now all of his 7 reds are in pretty good space. This could be the moment that the shooters are knocking out the danger team from Uganda. Be mindful that there is another ongoing frame between Habib and Habib is second on the player that is Mbongo, with both matches having pretty much the same exact significance. Now this ongoing frame could very shortly turn into a decider because of this. Habib pots black for danger. 12-12. Ladies and gentlemen, this is now the official decider. There he is from Dar es Salaam, taking on the player all the way from Kampala. With Tanzanians, Duncan having the work, call it light work, just that it's not business as usual. He has himself and his mindset and his ability to contain pressure. Difference between him winning or losing. He's playing relatively well enough. The Tanzanians will bask into celebration if he puts all of them 5 reds on the table. The Ugandans flip the scoreboard, maybe to instill a little bit of pressure on the Tanzanians. Duncan continues potting. He was so sure he was potting the ball. He wasn't even mindful where the cue ball would be staying, because he would be losing the frame hadn't he potted. Pressure, nerves, tension, and patriotism all at play in just this one frame. Oh, I cannot believe my eyes. The Ugandans are already celebrating, already lifting Caesar up in the skies before he plays the most important frame, the most important shot of the match. Duncan has the cue ball on the table bed. Caesar already in celebration, by surprise in some kind of way. The match is won by the Ugandans. Thank you for the time, dear viewers. See you in the next one.